Welcome back to Omnifactory. Today I'm in the mood of getting a few things automated and getting a lot of nice stuff set up. And I'm sort of sick of this inscriber setup. It takes too long and I want things to be automatically managed. So quickly I'm just going to go and get what I need to get some more inscribers. We need 4 of them. Well, at least 4 more. Well, maybe get away with 3, but let's go with 4. And yeah, Obsidian. Always a problem. So we're just going to go and get that sorted right now. Let's just get an exchanging gadget, which you should be able to do. It's building gadgets is in the pack, which is very, very nice. And yeah, I think I should be also make one of these. We probably should. And they both should be charged with our existing setup. So let's just put the building one away. And then we can go and get some just miscellaneous stuff. Why don't I just get some cobble? Couple of stacks or so should do us, and then a bucket of water, and we should be ready to go. I just want to see if there is... There we go. I need a place with lots of lava, and obviously the nether would be the obvious choice. Let's go and have a look. When I say the nether would be the obvious choice, no, it really wouldn't. We need the bucket of water, and of course that won't work in the nether, but down here, yeah, this should work fine. You see we've already got obsidian spreading out from the floor here, so we should just be able to get that sorted. To do that, I'm just going to go and head over maybe here. And I'm going to drop down, but get somewhere safe. And I'm just going to generate a lot more obsidian. There we go. And we should be able to exchange the obsidian with whatever I have in my backpack. In this case, it is going to be, once I get rid of all this water, it's going to be the stone. So I'm just going to basically spread this out a lot more. There we go. This should be more than enough. Let's just finish the floor off if you like. This is all going to get replaced by the exchanging gadget, I hope. If I remember how to actually make this work. So that's the wireless crafting terminal, don't want you. So if I shift right click, obsidian. Okay, and how do I exchange this again? I need to go and check it, set it to cobblestone, I think. And then obsidian. There it goes, it exchanges. So we can just immediately get obsidian quite easily now. I think there is also a range setting for this thing, so I need to go and check that. And the default key is R, but that's mapped to so many things that it, yeah, it doesn't matter. So instead, we can just extend this outwards to a range of whatever else we like. In this case, 15. And can we just exchange all of you? Yes, we can. And now we have 2.5 stacks of obsidian. That's pretty good for now. And this thing is just going to pay for itself. So that can go away, I guess, there. And let's head back up to our base. So automating the inscribers then. I've built 4 already, 5. I've got a couple more in the system. They should be being built at the moment. Yes, they are. We can do them a couple of different ways. You can do them with interfaces just like this, or you can do them in a stock keeping system. And I think I'm going to do stock keeping because it's worthwhile demonstrating for pretty much anything. We've got out here the liquid version. This just basically exports polyethylene into this fluid extractor, which then exports polyethylene into here, and it keeps this stock with a low amount of polyethylene so that it doesn't use up everything in the system, and that works quite well. Similarly for processors, you don't really have to wait for them to be crafted, so having them kept in stock is the most important option, or the best option if you like. And I've done that in different ways in different packs, but in this one I'm just going to go with an ME level emitter. You set this to whatever you like, so printed silicon in this case. And I'm going to set it to 100. So whenever this is below 100, it's going to emit a redstone signal, which is exactly what it's doing right now. We're going to combine that with, hopefully my export bus has been done. Yes, it has. And then we can set an export bus into here. And then we just need to perhaps just go out back here and then just put more cable just to connect this up. And that should trigger once this thing is sensitive to redstone. So we do need a redstone card. Do I have any cards? I need 2 for this particular thing, which needs a of course it needs a processor. Dear. Okay. Do I have any sort of calculation? Yes, I do. Okay, so printed calculation circuits. And I just need some regular circuits just to make this. That's fine. We'll just put them in here manually. 1, 2, 3. And that will start up just fine. In here, I'm just going to go and make some more silicon plate just so I have a few of these available. Okay, and that can go like that. I'm going to need more of those anyway because the next set of advanced inscribers, it's making inscribers at the moment, but the advanced ones need those calculation circuits. That's why they got used up. Anyway, where was I? This is all now connected, so I need those cards, don't I? So yes, I need a couple of cards. That shouldn't take it very long at all, I would have thought. It's just crafting 6 iron plates. You also crafting plates? Yeah, it's crafting them right now. Good. I won't take long. So you're going to need a crafting card, potentially, and you're definitely going to need a redstone card. The crafting card is because the ingredient here, it's already used them up. The silicon plates is not something that we have just available all the time in the system. It needs to actually craft it from silicon ingots, which is from silicon dust. Now, we don't have the silicon dust automated yet, which is why the system won't work initially, but I'll do that again later. Once we do get enough silicon dust, it will start exporting into here. This will start converting, but right now it doesn't go anywhere because we're not importing it back into the system. So we just want to add an extra import step to that, probably to the bottom or something like that. It doesn't much matter. Let's just grab an import bus. Do I have one spare? Almost never. I have plenty of those extra. Plenty of those extra fluid import buses, and that's a similar kind of thing you may want for import buses. You might want to have, about 8 spare in the system, so you can set up a very similar kind of approach for this as we actually go through. So that shouldn't take it very long at all to craft. You are crafting. The inscribers should be done by now, but I need more calculation. So let's just put some more in here. That should make some more calculation circuit processors. There we are. 1 input bus. And well, we don't really need to specify this any more than that. I think that should work regardless. So if I just tell the system to, what have we got? Silicon. We've got some silicon plates. And this just needs the 2 cards for it to start functioning. So it should start dragging them in once we have the cards. So capacity card, no. We want the redstone card. Do I really not have any redstone redstone torches? I'll just make a stack of them. I'm sure I'll use them at some point. Redstone card. And a crafting card would be the ideal crafting card. And I obviously don't have any crafting tables in the system. I should craft some of them as well. There we go. So here is where we specify what we want. And in this case, we're just going to put in the cards first. And that's fine. Active with signal and silicon plate. Okay, so that should be all working now. So if I put these into the system, they should get dragged out of the system. There it goes. And it should start crafting and pulling those back into the system. Yep, there it goes. So that's working perfectly well, and the same approach can be used for anything else that you actually want to do in the system, as long as it can craft the prerequisite ingredients. And just like printed silicon, we can set up printed calculation circuits and logic and everything else. They have the prerequisite material, so printed. These things. We can set them up identically because they are simple recipes. They have this in permanently, which we never need to remove. They only need 1 item input and 1 item output. So simple for stock keeping, just to do it the same way. So here I've not connected these up. I'm just waiting for a little bit more cable. Oops, I already had the filter set. Yep, so we should be able to set those up now. And that should start already. It's already trying to go. And the system already knows now how to make the various other materials, so we should be okay. Just put these in and fill that in. Yeah, that should work fine. Okay, so they're gonna start producing. Now back here, I've set these to detect whether the level is less than 100, and if so, start making printed logic circuits, printed calculation, etc., etc. And that should get pulled back out, I would have thought. Does it not? Why are you not getting pulled back out? Input bus. That is connected. That did work for this, did it not? Or I hope it doesn't have to be connected to the back, otherwise I'm going to have to rewire. No, it does work. It's just slow. So you can always put acceleration cards in if you want it to be faster. Now, the important point here is that this is going to start demanding the components it needs. For example, Certus quartz plate is going to start demanding, diamond plate is going to start demanding, and back over here, currently I have them in this, I think. Yeah, here are the components. So gold plate, Certus quartz, diamond plate, and you'll see it's making them as it actually wants them. Now that will work, and I may want to move those plates again outside into another sort of dedicated batch processor. And that gets us most of the way there to automated processors. Are they actually called processors? I think they are. Processors. Yeah. But the final stage is a bit more complicated because you need 3 different ingredients. You need the 2 from the prior machines, which should be easy enough. And then you need the back, to the other component supplied as a circuit. In our case, we're going to use this refined circuit. It's probably the best thing there. There's a couple of ways you can do it. And just for variety, I'm going to show you one way. You could, for instance, not hook these up like this, but you could hook them up in such a way that they were constantly being fed these ingredients that you get from this one into the top of this one. And, you know, they just sit here like this. And then because these are out of the system, these behind them would continually craft more. These would continually be inserted. And then the only thing you'd need to do for that is to, whenever you wanted to request one, you just need to supply a circuit into the middle slot for each of these and then import them back into the system. That's one way of doing it. I want to do it a slightly different way because I want to show you an alternate way of getting stock keeping working. And this will work when you're like this. Maybe you're short on sides and you need to get sides working properly. So instead of doing it this way, what we're going to do with this is we're just going to set these up as regular on-demand sort of interfaces. Do I have enough interface blocks? Let's just request a couple more. And I did remember what the shortcut key is, middle click, to actually request stuff that you already have in the system. We're going to need some pure nether quartz crystal. Okay, I haven't got that in the system yet. Let's just put 1 in for now. Okay, so we can go and, which one is this? This is the logic. So let's just go and get a recipe together for logic. Printed, which means I need the logic processor recipe, and I don't want that one, do I? I want the other one. I want that one. So specifically each of these 3 things, and we have a recipe. So we can put that in the system. It's a processing recipe, so it'll go up here. And the system can now make it. Now, you might say, well, that's fine. You can just request 100 of them whenever you want. Yes, but this is stock keeping. So we're going to do this a slightly different way. I'm going to need another interface block. Can I make one more without it objecting, without me needing something else? Yes, I can. We're going to set up the interface block itself as a sort of requester and, you know, of the right things in the system. So we're also going to need a storage bus. Regular storage bus. You're short on something. Pure nether quartz. Let me make some of that and then make sure we're not blocked. And if you're following along with this guide, one thing that will drive you mental if you're not careful is to have the system on while you're trying to do stuff, because those crafting CPUs will get used up every time this system wants to be able to do stuff, because it's got a crafting card. The crafting card uses up the CPUs. So I've turned this off for the moment. I've switched these level emitters around so they emit if it's over 100, which it's not. So that'll just turn them off for the moment while I get the rest set up, and then I'll be adding more crafting CPUs later. Now, for the rest of this, we're going to want the interfaces, and it doesn't really much matter where you put this. So I'm just going to put it back here, I think. Yeah. And on top of this, let's just put a torch down or something just so I can see. There we go. On top of this, or indeed on the bottom, I think I'm going to put on the bottom for this is, let's just block these out, is going to be the storage bus. Okay, the storage bus just means it can see whatever's inside this interface. And importantly in this interface, we're going to tell this to basically supply, if we can we actually get it to configure this to supply more than 1? Unless I have them in my inventory. Let's see. Shortcuts. No. Right. Okay. Well, without that, if I just attach this with cable. There we go. This system should be trying to supply a single logic processor into this slot right here. And then this side of things should be able to see said logic processor as basically a storage system. So it's not going to get imported back into the system because we don't have an import bus, but it should get provided to the system if this can actually have a crafting card. So if I just get a card, I need a crafting card, don't I? Crafting card, yes. Yes, let me put you in there. Okay, so crafting card. So this should now be requesting a logic processor from the system. So let's just take a look. Logic processor, does the system have any? It does not. Let's put one in there. And there it is. Now, right now, this system can create them, but there's no import bus taking them back into the system. So you see this one is here. It's there because this one requested it. Okay, so now we've got a system that will basically, once we take these out, we'll get as many as we need supplied into this interface, which will act as a sort of chest. And the chest can craft things or can request things. More importantly, you can use this one chest to supply up to 9 different things. Is it 9? Yeah, 9. 9 different things. So I don't need interface blocks for, you know, every single component. I just need one of these with a storage bus on the bottom. That's where you can sort of take this system out again. I'm showing you this alternative, 2 different ways of doing it. This is good for simple systems, but just do one thing. This is good for sort of chains. So instead of this, what you could is have all of the processors, you could have all the printed circuits, and it would start trying to craft them all and supply them all into this block. Now, I don't know if there's a shortcut to tell it to basically store an entire stack. It doesn't seem, I didn't see one. If someone does know one, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll need to probably craft like half a stack or something of them, and then they should correctly work. So let's just tell the system just craft some buses. I want some import buses. I want 3 of them, just so this system can supply aluminium plate. That's what I'm always short of. Let's just make 20 plate. I'm not told the system how to make small aluminium gears yet. Anyway, that's the stock keeping system. It will work perfectly well. Just a combination of this approach, of that approach on the back with on-demand approaches, it should get you going. And you'll see, yeah, the system continually tries to supply logic processors because it knows how to make them from up here. All right. So from here, what are we going to do from there? Well, one, I'm going to need to craft some more CPUs in the background before I turn that system on. I did go and make a couple more changes. I think I'm just largely just crafting lots and lots of aluminium up. Yeah. The thing I wanted to do is perhaps set up the silicon, and that's again that system at the back of here. The silicon plates and silicon ingots or whatever. Silicon plates actually should be fine. It needs to be available to the system, but this system doesn't yet know how to create silicon plates. It's going to try and request it because that's what its ingredient is, but the system doesn't know how to make them. So I need to add that into the system. Excuse me. Easiest way to get silicon is just via clay dust, and clay dust is just clay, and then it's ground down in macerator, then electrolyzed, and you get silicon dust from it. So both of these machines will work perfectly well for it, and indeed you can just put some recipes in here to get that. So if I just add those in, we should see the system start up, at least for the silicon side. I've turned the rest of it off. So have I got enough patterns for this? I hope I do. So silicon dust. You see I've got 14 in the system. We're going to do something with that in a second. Silicon dust. We're going to get the macerator. It needs to go through an electrolyzer first, but that needs clay dust. So clay dust is the first recipe we do. Pulverizer. Yeah, we're just going to pulverize regular clay blocks like this. So that is a processing recipe. You can go in there. Clay dust in turn can go into the silicon dust. And that's the electrolyzer side of things. So let's go back to here, and we can shift click that in. Oh, actually, was that got enough components? Centrifuge, electrolyzer. That produces 4 things. Well, I don't care that I'm getting aluminium dust as long as it specifies the other 3. So sodium, silicon, lithium. Sodium, silicon, lithium. Yeah, and we'll get extra aluminium free. That's fine. So the system now knows how to make silicon dust from clay dust and clay dust from clay. There is quite a lot of clay in the system, and we can make another setup like outside to provide it if we ever run out. But that should be that from there. And then all we really need to do is set up. Do I have an export bus available? I do. I think I made an extra one. Did I set this up behind here? I think I did. Export bus. I did, but it only had one, and it doesn't have the top available. That's slightly annoying. Why don't we just... Oh, that's annoying. I'm going to have to move that or move this. Let's just move this for now. Yeah, you can make red coal, but I can always put that back together again. I'm just going to put an export bus on top of here. And we're just going to tell this to export any silicon dust that it finds into here, I think. At least for now. I may well find out I need the silicon dust for something else, but, you know, it's okay to start off with. And then we'll just connect this up to the system. There we go. So if I just dump this in here, it should immediately start getting smelted up into silicon ingots and go back into the system, which is good. Let's just put this other stuff away until I need it. The resonator, I'll probably find I need it like next episode. And then we can just put these upstairs, and that should start the auto crafting of the silicon plates. So we just need clay dust from clay, so it's that one. And this one is silicon dust and sodium dust and lithium from clay dust. So these should trigger as long as that system downstairs is on, I would think. Let's have a look. What's coming up for silicon right now? Ingots. Those ingots are being taken and put into the system. Although maybe that actually won't work all the way through because I don't have anything that explicitly says, yeah, it's not an on-demand thing. I think I'm going to just rearrange this. This needs to be done slightly differently because this is just going to produce whatever we have, whereas the other thing will request what we have. So why don't we just maybe take that up? And then we'll just, yeah, this is going to need rearranging, isn't it? One other thing not to do with this system as well, I've set almost all of it up now. This was driving me insane. Basically, you know the silicon recipe, silicon dust we have upstairs here. Don't shift click in a recipe for electrolyzer that has more than those 3 outputs. It drives the system demented, and I don't know why, but basically, it must be just a bug in AE2. If you do that, and let's say you make some patterns, I need to make some more. Yep, let's make some more. And it has 4 outputs. Even if you get rid of the other 2, let's say it had 4 here, obviously you only see 3, you get rid of 2 of them and there's only 1, so it looks like 7 clay dust to get 2 silicon ingots, so 2 silicon dust. In the system, you can then craft silicon dust, but you can't craft anything automatically that's made from silicon dust. It says there's missing silicon dust, even though there's a recipe there to create silicon dust. It makes no sense. just trust me on this. For silicon dust or anything else in the silicon the electrolyzer recipes or something, just put the recipe together manually. Put in 7 clay dust on the left, 2 silicon dust on the right hand side. It all then works. That was driving me mental for 15 minutes between these clips. Anyway, in here I've just rearranged this now, and this knows how to make a silicon ingot with silicon dust, so it's sort of nice, snappy, fast furnace. And then back here I did have silicon dust in this little requester back here, but since that's now gone, I didn't need it anymore, so I've just got it requesting processors. So here, at the moment, I'm manually upping this number of processors. I would like to be able to just say store an entire stack without having to make the stack. If anyone knows, do let me know in the comments. Otherwise, it will work just fine and keep these things in stock. And that's exactly what we want in here. So I will add the 3 types of processor into here once it's actually made enough of them. And then it'll just keep everything in stock automatically. This is already requesting silicon whenever it needs it. Let's see how much it's got in the system. Printed. Yep, so it's got 63 right now. How many did it actually request? 100. So it will be requesting more silicons. We'll just have a look in the crafting. It's making some patterns, and sorry, that's got the CPUs. So that's why it's not able to deliver any more silicon right now, because that single interface right the back there is requesting 20 logic processors. So we've got a stock keeping system. it is going to start consuming up more crafting CPUs, so I'm going to be crafting more of these once it gets up to the stock levels that I want. And of course, because that system is very powerful, I've gotten another extra 7 slots spare to request anything else in the system that can be crafted. So for example, a good thing might be to just keep 1 or 2 HV machine hulls. Yeah, so we consider requesting them manually. We can just keep them in stock and the system will start crafting them. But do bear in mind, you do need the CPUs to support that. Okay, so that's this episode. I just wanted to cover some stock keeping options, just so that we have more options apart from this fluid-based thing, and you know, just processes the ideal one in AE2. It's the classic example. So if you guys could improve on it, feel free to put comments down below for everyone else who's actually watching through this playthrough. And next episode we probably will begin towards the space stuff and back to the quests as normal. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for some more Omnifactory. If you want to get some more episodes, feel free to click on a bell for notifications. When that happens, of course, you probably need to subscribe to do that. But otherwise, yeah, see you next time.